Today's the last message in our series on the minor prophets, and it is the last on the book of Jonah, the second half in particular. We ended yesterday talking about crises. We said that there are things that we need to know about a crisis, and the first thing that I said is that we're all going to face them, right? In this broken world, we're going to face many crises. We're going to do the wrong thing. We're going to get knocked down. We're going to suffer. And the good news is that God gives us many, many, many second chances and third chances and fourth chances. Now, I can't say that it's a limitless supply of second chances, because in Hebrews 9:27, it's told that it's appointed, to man once to die and after that to face judgment. There will be an ultimate reckoning of what we do with our life, how we respond to it. But we tend to get many second chances. Jonah gets a second chance, and he takes advantage of it. I mean, he does the right thing for a while. But that raises the point I want to make here at the end of the book of Jonah, and that is many people waste their crises. They get knocked down, they're struggling, and they want to make some changes, but the changes don't last. Not long ago, there was a study that was released that said that people that have a heart attack are told the things that they've got to do or they're going to have another heart attack. And most people don't stop doing the things that sort of led to their first heart attack. It's very hard for people to actually change. And so I just want to say, I get invited into people's lives to try and interpret what's going on. And if people have got a problem, a crisis, the wheels are falling off, it's unemployment, it's cancer, it's whatever it is, people are often trying to figure out, am I doing something wrong? Is God sending me a message? What am I supposed to understand? And it can be hard to know how to understand these things. I want to be very honest about that. Sometimes we suffer the consequences of our sin. That's pretty obvious. God didn't send that. God was trying to prevent that. He said, if you do this, right, if you sleep around outside of marriage, you're going to ruin your marriage. Now your marriage is in trouble. That was the whole point. If you lie, you're going to develop a reputation for being a liar, and life is going to get much harder. Thus, God is trying to prevent you from doing that, because this is the natural consequences of your actions. Sometimes God sends a storm. I mean, he does in the book of Jonah, right? Jonah, it's not a natural consequence. It's sort of a supernatural consequence that Jonah is trying to flee from God, and God sends a storm. So people will say, I cheated on my taxes, and so God has, given me cancer. And I go, I doubt it. But it can be hard to know some of those things. Sometimes there is this thing where God sends a roadblock. That is ultimately a loving thing. For God to send the storm and to get Jonah's attention is to keep Jonah from running further away from him. That's a loving thing. My point in all this is, look, you're going to have a crisis. I'm going to have a crisis. Like we will get knocked down. The question is not if, it's when. And the next question is, what are we going to do about it? Are you going to learn from your life? Have you actually reflected? That was one of the big purposes of a Sabbath, was to reflect on the last week. How did the last week go? What did I do wrong? What did I do right? What am I going to do differently next week? Many people are not doing any kind of debriefing on their own life. They're not learning at all. The crisis is being wasted. So, have you fallen back into old patterns? God is gracious. God gives many second chances. They don't go on forever. We got too much Jonah in us. We need to have less. The book of Jonah is a good teaching tool. Use it. Have a good day.